I see that you are both straight and ready, I will start you like this. Attention. Go.
The Temple Challenge Cup. They're ready to go on the Berkshire Station, Oxford Brookes University A, on the Buck Station, U.S.R. Triton Lager of the Netherlands. Neither Cox is ready just yet. Both have arms raised. Oxford Brookes say they're ready to go. The Dutch taking a little longer. Helen Burke, the Cox, checking on her 8, hand down.
Go.
And off we go in the semi-final of the Temple Challenge Cup. Past Temple Island they go on the right-hand side. Hear and see the strains of that power away from the starting pontoon.
Yeah, both crews getting away really well in that smooth water, you can see, but they're going to hit the wind when they get to the top of the island. You can actually see the ruffles on the water. They're just coming into that now. They'll feel that on their backs. The Coxes will need to be ready for on the rudder, but both crews will handle this well. I'm sure they will. They're coming out now. Top of the island. What a great race.
Yeah, you can see the wind from the flags. That's the indicator, and it's going straight across the course according to those flags. So it's going to be shifting the boat we can see in the foreground now, the Dutch. It's going to shift them out towards the Berkshire Station as they come off the shelter of the island in towards the path of the Oxford Brookes boat. But as you say, and rightly predicted, Greg, both of those Coxes and the quality of these boats, they've navigated that brilliantly, haven't they? And here we go. You've got the stroke rates, you've got the boat speeds. They're pretty similar at the moment.
Yeah, pretty similar stroke rates, but what about the crew from Triton in the Netherlands really taking it to Oxford Brookes here? I think it's a hallmark of Oxford Brookes. They tend to be steady in their pace throughout the race, rather than necessarily being fast starters. The Netherlands crew really trying to take it to them. They've done, it says, a 5:45 2K on the Bosbaan. That's in Amsterdam, known as being a quick course, and that's a quick time. Here they are ripping this out, but today they're on the longer course in Henley and they're in a headwind, and they've got a very good pedigree crew alongside them.
Well, the Bosbaan, they should be used to a bit of wind. It's a great flat expanse, isn't it? And you get buffeted around by winds quite regularly there, so they should be used to winds. Not on dual racing, river racing like this perhaps, but nonetheless the Dutch very experienced, technically proficient, and this is warming up to be a very competitive race again.
Well, I'm going to make a bit of a call here that I think the crew from the Netherlands have really taken this out hard. They got up to half a length, but I think they might still be leading at that mark of the barrier. But I think Brookes looked to me like they've settled into a lovely rhythm. They're used to just, as I say, being really kind of consistent throughout the course, relentless in their training. We know that they are relentless in their racing. And I can't help thinking it's going to be hard for the crew from the Netherlands to hold the lead that they snatched early on.
It's interesting what you said about the characteristic of Oxford Brookes boats, big or small, having that consistent stroke rate from start to finish. And you do see that, don't you, in really well-organised clubs. There's like a DNA running all the way through. They all do the same thing. They all have a similar technique. And it's a sign, a hallmark of real quality, that, isn't it, when you see consistency like that.
Well, they've had a consistent coaching setup with Henry Belhage-Webb and Richard Spratley there for such a good period of time. And so they've got a tried and trusted method. And in a match race like this, you often think it's only side by side. So maybe you can jump out, maybe you can put the others off their stride. But someone like Brookes, with that coaching background, with that heritage of all the crews that have gone behind them, probably wouldn't have been shaken, wouldn't have been thrown too much by someone jumping them like that.
And the more success you have as a club, the more confident in your own style and technique you'll become. And Oxford Brookes last year enjoyed so much success here. It grows and grows, doesn't it, their programme? So you can see Oxford Brookes to the right of your picture on the Berkshire Station, moving into a length lead.
Yeah, as you say, there's probably a length now that the Brookes boys have got here on the right of our picture, just continuing to churn it out, about 34 strokes a minute. Similar stroke rate for the crew from Lager on the left of the picture. That board is showing half a length. We'll get a really good view of it here, but it is a long race in a headwind. There's still another third of the race to go, and I just see that relentless rhythm. You can just see it, you can feel it coming off that Brookes boat, and that has now gone out to a full boat length.
Yeah, like the beat of a good drummer, isn't it? The way Oxford Brookes are just keeping this consistent in front of the regatta enclosure. And the Cox Will Denengri will be enjoying what he's seeing at this stage, because the boat on the right, Oxford Brookes, stretching that lead relentlessly.
They are just continuing to churn it out. It's about 37 strokes a minute. It's what they've been doing more or less all through the course. Once they did that start, they then settled into this pace, and it just keeps coming and coming at you. And there's not much that Lager have been able to do. You can see it there, Brookes still at 37. The crew from Triton, whether that's 34, and a big difference now in the boat speed. So Brookes are still just able to row away, and that's going to hurt so much in the Triton boat.
Whenever you watch elite performers in sport, you just wonder why everyone can't do it, because they make it look so easy, don't they? The routine of that, the repetitive nature of it.
And I'll promise you, Tim, it's not easy.
Of course, absolutely
so
not. Otherwise, we'd all be doing it, wouldn't we?
It hurts so much.
So that's the amazing thing about it, isn't it? That they make it look so rhythmic and so repeatable.
Yeah, and repeatable is a great word, because they will have practiced and trained, and they'll know how to take themselves to the edge, but not quite over the edge, so that they know what they've got. And then when it comes to big races, if they really need to, they'll take themselves right up there and then go into an unknown zone if they need to. I don't think today they're going to have to go to the unknown place. I think they're going to be able to keep control of this one. And unless Lager can throw something really special at them along the enclosure, I can't help thinking Brookes will just keep churning this out at 37 strokes a minute in front of the enclosures.
That's what they're doing at the moment. Oxford Brookes University A in the Temple Challenge Cup on the Berkshire Station. To the right of your picture, moving along really nicely in that burgundy, navy and cream that you can see. In front of Stewart's enclosure. This will be a happy moment for them. Another Oxford Brookes University boat into another Henley Royal Regatta final. And they've stretched that lead in the last few hundred metres of the race. Crushing the boat from the Netherlands, just relentless. That's the word that we kept using. That's exactly what it was. It would not let up one bit, and the Oxford Brookes University boat over the finish line, a couple of lengths victory. Really solid professional performance from them.
Solid professional performance from Brookes. They held their nerve, they held their confidence. Brave from Triton, but it wasn't to be. They come up against a very strong crew from Oxford Brookes today. So lovely pictures of the Brookes crew, as I'm going to check out and hand over to Mark Hunter and leave it with you here, Tim.